Dirk, thank you so much for joining us today. Now, off air, I told you I had a funny story that I wanted to tell you. When the kids talk about aura, you have it. I remember I went to my first Mavs game this past season in March. It was the Kyrie Ramadan game winner. And I saw you in the tunnel and you were just walking around there, and the crowds that followed you were just absolutely insane. I wanted to come up and say hi, but there was like 50 people surrounding you. I mean, what is it like to still have that impact on people?
Oh, it's so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, it's still fun to go to the games in Dallas, obviously, and see the excitement, and I get a lot of love there and respect, and so it's so great for me to come back at times and see the team do well and see the fans and see the people. It's been fun to go back to games.
Let's talk about the Mavs. I mean, they went extremely far last season. What is it going to take for them to kind of repeat that success in a Western Conference that is just absolutely stacked?
Yeah, it'll be super tough. I think we had a great run, or the Mavs had a great run in the playoffs there. Played some incredible basketball, and I think there in the finals against Boston, you could see that we needed to improve in certain areas. So we need some more shooting and some defending on the wings. And so I think with going out and getting Klay and getting Grimes and some other pieces on the perimeter. And obviously the players that were here, the younger guys are a year more experienced and better players, and they worked hard this summer. So I think we're a better team than last year, and we should be having. And now, obviously injuries are always a part of it, but if we're healthy, we should be having another great year.
I mean, let's talk about Klay. The Splash Brother is in Dallas. A lot of people thought he was going to retire a Golden State Warrior. It shook a lot of NBA fans. The writing was kind of on the wall, but I mean, how do you think he's going to fit with this Dallas Mavericks offense and defense team as whole?
I think he's going to be great. He's not a player that needs the ball a ton and dribble around, run pick and rolls. He's more a guy that can fit in, come off screens. Luka and Kyrie will find him on the weak side when he's open, and he's still obviously one of the best shooters that this league has ever seen. So I think teams are obviously going to have to respect him wherever he is on the floor. And so I think offensively it's going to be great. I think he's going to get a bunch of open looks. And defensively, of course, he's getting a little older, but he still loves to compete. He loves getting the challenge of guarding the best player still. So, and he's going to have to guard. He's going to have to guard with obviously with Kyrie and with Luka out there. He's probably going to be mostly guarding some of the best players on the perimeter from the opponent. So I think he's up for the challenge. He feels good. He's been feeling good in preseason. So. I think he's going to be great. And as we all know him, he's so laid back off the floor. He's so chill, almost too chill. So I think he's going to fit in great with the guys, and he's going to be fun to watch this year with the boys.
I mean, obviously, to get Klay Thompson, you had to lose Derek Jones Jr., who was one of the best primary all-ball defenders. You also, lost one of the best perimeter defenders for the Mavs to injury. I mean, any concerns about the Dallas Mavericks defense? They're going to be in a lot of shootouts right now.
They are. I think what's good. We have two, legit bigs, two legit shot blockers, and Lively and so. We have guys to protect the lane, clog the lane. Klay is going to have to guard, obviously, the best perimeter players. I think it's normal that Luka and Kyrie are going to have to hold their position and play well. And Jay Kidd, coach, is so smart, and he's going to put the guys in right positions. He's going to have the right rotations. And so I think we're going to be totally fine on that end. And until everybody kind of gets in the groove. But offensively, we are definitely a problem.
Well, listen, your final season in the league was Luka's first season. What have you seen from him, watching him from afar, watching from up close, and what do you think his ceiling is?
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how much he's improved from season one. Season two, he's already MVP caliber player, and he's still kept getting better till last year. Led the league in scoring last year for the first time. So it's just been incredible to watch his growth still. And yeah, we're super proud of him. And I mean, how he reads the game, how he scores, how he gets everybody else involved with his passing. I mean, he has really no holes in his offensive game, and it's been fun to watch. So I'm not quite sure what the ceiling can be for him. I mean, it seems like every year he's improving even more. So I mean, we're going to look to him obviously a lot for scoring again, for initiating the offense, for posting up some if he has mismatches, getting other guys open shots. And so really just overall keep playing his game, being aggressive on the offensive end, and get the guys open shots.
I mean, Luka has garnered a little bit of a reputation for arguing with officials, sometimes during the wrong points in games. And during the NBA Finals, he even said, look, my frustration got the best of me. I have to take a different approach when it comes to officiating. What would your advice be to him as he continues to hopefully change the narrative about him going into this season?
Well, I'm not sure I'm the right guy to give any advice. I was pretty heated at times. I mean, it's really about just handling your emotions when you're out there. He's such a laid back dude off the floor and on the court. He just gets so fired up and emotional. He wants to win so badly. So I think it's just about handling his emotions a little better, or funneling his frustrations a little in a different way, or go out and yell at one of the coaches, or just get the frustration out in a different way. And then like I said, he's one of the best players this league has, and he'll be so good for another decade. He just obviously needs to funnel his aggression a little different way.
You also played with a young Jalen Brunson. I mean, did you know that he was this talented? It's insane.
Jalen's my guy. I loved him when we had him. I think that was a tough loss for the Mavs. The way we played, the way he handles himself on and off the floor, just a true professional, and such a hard worker, and so nice to everybody in the locker room. So that was a big loss, but I'm really happy for him. I wasn't sure that he can play that well and carry a franchise, especially in New York. We all know how tough the market is, the media is. I was a little skeptical whether he can shoulder that load, but he's shown it. I'm so happy for him. Couldn't happen to a better guy. He's making clutch shots. He's running the offense. He scores, getting everybody involved. So he's playing a great all-around game for him, and I'm super happy for him.
A top 5 MVP candidate this year. How are we feeling?
I mean, the Knicks should be definitely relevant. It's always about the good teams, who has the best record in the league. Those guys are usually the MVP candidates, and now the Knicks making the move for Cat, and they'll definitely be a top team in the East, and a team to watch. And so if the team's doing well and staying injury free, he will definitely be in the discussion for sure.
You were one of the few players to play over 20 seasons, and now we're looking at LeBron entering year 22, and he's playing with his son. I mean, how crazy is it to see all of this from your vantage point?
Amazing. I mean, what he's still doing after 20 years, how athletic he still is, how he at that level he plays the game at is incredible. So, and the story to play with his son, I mean, that's probably one of the best stories that I've seen in the last couple of decades in the NBA. That he sticks around so long, and now he's got this talented kid coming in, and they're on the same team. I mean, that's a dream come true, I'm sure, for both. And LeBron has been talking about it for years, that he wants to keep playing until his son comes in. So I think that's an incredible story, and I'm so happy for LeBron and obviously Bronny, and hopefully they have a great year.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this next question, and I don't want you to be humble, okay? I want you to answer this with some conviction, all right? Let me ask you this straight up. Are you the best big man shooter in league history? Because there is somebody out there who's trying to go ahead and take that crown from you.
Well, let's say we're all. I'm up there. I'm up there. It's hard to say. It's hard to compare eras. Always, I think in today's game, I would have shot way more threes than I would have done, obviously, coming in the league in the late 90s and early 2000s. So I would probably average a good 8 threes a game. I would think now, just hoisting shots. So who knows how that would end up? But it's always hard to compare eras. But hey, there were some good shooters, bigs before me. And now there will be some great shooters coming after me. So I was just happy to be a part of this amazing journey.
I want to ask you about the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant because he tried to recruit you to the Lakers as a free agent. And then Mark Cuban tells a story about how getting Kobe on the Mavs, the deal was nearly done. How much did you know about that? And what would it have been like to play with Kobe as a teammate?
Well, it's no secret that I was a huge Kobe fan. While I played, I admired him, his playing style, his athleticism, his skill level, his killer instinct. To me, he was a complete package, and I loved to compete against him, and it would have been amazing to obviously play alongside with him. But of course, it never happened. But just I think learning from him, being on the same team, seeing how he sees the game, how he approaches the game, how his professionalism, his work ethic. I would have loved to be around him more and see that on the same team, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. And at the time, I was a little bit involved. I think Mark kind of kept me up to date on stuff, and I think it was pretty close. I'm not sure it was as close as Mark says it now. I think every time he tells a story, it's a little closer. But I think it was pretty close. I think he was a little frustrated at the time, going through some stuff at the Lakers organization. And so that would have been obviously an incredible experience for Mavs fans, for the organization, and for myself. But unfortunately, it didn't happen, and we all, both sides, obviously moved on.
Now, before I let you go, I'm going to pick your brain a little bit about this upcoming season, okay? There are some awards that I want you to predict, and we're going to start with the MVP.
Well, I'm going to say Luka on this one, not because I'm a homer, but he's been in the discussions every year. I think he deserved it last year. Of course, everybody always deserves it, especially obviously the top 5 or 3 at the end. They all have a great case for it. But Luka carrying us, leading the league in scoring, doing everything every night. So I think he's going to have a great case this year again if he stays healthy, and he might get it. If we have a great team and a great season and we have a good record at the end, I think he's going to be right there.
Okay, DPOY.
I mean, that's always tough. I know. Rudy Gobert obviously wins it a lot. He's a game changer at the rim. I think this year maybe it's going to be somebody else, a smaller, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe a Dylan Brooks.
Okay. Now, as we know, you are one of the best European players we have ever seen. The game is getting more international as we progress into the NBA and just its longevity in the world of sports. But I want you to go ahead and build your starting lineup with only European players, obviously with you at the 4.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to say Luka at the 1. Is this current players?
It could be current,
or
it could be past, whoever you want.
Okay, I'm going to say Luka at the 1, of course. I'm going to say Giannis can play the 3. Maybe we'll switch in and out. I think Jokic will play the 5. I mean, just those guys are incredibly talented. And I think we need another shooter on the wing. I'm going to say Dražen Petrovic. I was a big fan of his game. Unfortunately, obviously passed away way too soon, way too early. But he was one of the greatest shooters that we ever produced in Europe. He played in the NBA for a while, and he's an absolute legend in Europe. So I'm going to say Dražen Petrovic at the 2.
It sounds like a championship team to me. And Dirk, I look forward to seeing you at the Mavs-Knicks finals this year. That's what I'm predicting.
That's what you got?
That's what I got.
Well, I think Boston will be really tough still to beat in the East. But hey, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a long season, but I hope the Mavs will get there.
I hope so too. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again soon.
Good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank
Thanks
you
all.
guys. So fun.
We'll
Appreciate
talk to you
it.
soon.
Thanks for having me.